Skipping a Note 6 name to unify Samsung's flagship Galaxy phones, how does a company improve upon the Note 5? Well, make it more like the Galaxy S7 Edge. Like we saw with the Galaxy S7, Samsung's focus is on taking what worked earlier this year, refining it, and popping in an S Pen. In following on the heels of the S7 Edge, the Note 7 feels like a slightly more progressive, iterative jump when looking back at the Note 5. The rounded back of the Note 5 is now mirrored on front and back for a symmetrically curved Gorilla Glass 5 device. And we have similar screen sizes and resolutions. With so many phones out there with 5.5-inch screens, the Note no longer feels like a behemoth. The tapering edges deliver on that illusion of maximizing screen real estate. As a very early first impression, though, this editor feels like the Note 5 is a slightly easier phone to keep a hold of. The flatter side's better for gripping, especially when used one-handed. Looking at the specs, the Note 7 becomes something of a lateral move from the Note 5, the Qualcomm 820 for North American Note 7s, and 4GB of RAM, catching up to the performance of last year's Exynos chipset. In discussing the differences after the curved display, the next most visible change is the move to a USB Type-C port on the bottom of the phone, finally bringing Samsung phones up to date on the next generation cable spec. And here we can see the Note 7 is impressively a bit thinner. Microsd card expansion returns. This is still a handy feature, even with 64GB of built-in storage. Our phones are increasingly used for richer multimedia consumption and creation. Shooting UHD video should feel a little less claustrophobic now over last year's Note. And speaking of cameras, the Note 7 also reduces resolution from 16 to 12 megapixels for better low-light performance and incorporating dual-pixel technology for lightning-fast focusing performance. S Pen is spruced up over last year's phone. We get a finer tip and more precise experience. Adding to the lifestyle durability, this piece is water and dust resistant, and we were happy to see that there are no pen gate issues this year. The iris scanner is another feature which sets this phone apart. Even on a busy show floor, it trained and scanned faster than the Lumias we've used, and it's a best of both worlds situation as you still have the fingerprint sensor. From last year's phone, we thankfully get a battery bump. As we saw from similar increases on Galaxy S's and Actives, we're confident this should improve the daily runtime of a handset, which should be an uncompromising productivity device. Though it is a bit odd to see an ever so slightly smaller battery here over the S7 Edge. And lastly, it's just nice to see water resistance on an open port Note finally. While these wraparound glass devices are far from rugged, there's extra peace of mind that a near laptop expensive mobile gadget should survive a splash or a short, shallow swim. There are plenty of Note 5 devotees out there in our audience, so there really wasn't a lot to fix. But we are happy to see the same attention to the small details here that we saw with the S7 launch. In playing with these two phones side by side, it's easy for us to predict that the Note 7 will be a top seller for 2016. It might not represent the same vanguard product it was when the first Notes launched, but it maintains a charm and uniqueness which other large screen phones lack, and we're always happy to see progress. We'll have more to look at once we can dig into the Note 7 properly and run it through our camera and audio tests. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for our full coverage on the Galaxy Note 7, including camera and audio reviews coming soon, and a host of phone comparisons. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next video.